Hey everybody, this is the Mordoc's Daily Live Chat. My name is Nelson Buck. We do this every day, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, noon Pacific, 9 o'clock Berlin time, if anybody actually cares about it. We talk about anything, everything, and nothing all at the same time, and let's just go with it. What's the topic today?
Okay, you just opened up the broadcast?
Yeah.
My poll button popped up.
Oh, there you go.
So it's only when we're broadcasting?
No, that's just a fluke. That Zoom is one thing, and this is the other.
It must have come on when John came on. He said,
Johnny, did you,
my poll button hostage.
Johnny, did you see the new holding page for the chat for the video channel?
Yeah, I like it.
It's been suggested that we take the word Mardocs off it because our chats are becoming more and more just conversations.
Yeah, but it's still Mardoc.
Yeah, well, it's still Mardocs, but instead of advertising it's Mardocs, everybody going, oh, it must be internet marketing. We could it was just an idea that maybe we could market it more as the daily live chat as opposed to the Mardocs daily live chat.
Okay.
You know, and that we happen to talk about Mardocs on it.
Yeah. Well, it's not a bad idea, I guess. But
This is recording.
it's not a bad idea.
It's not a bad idea. Looking at the wife, yeah, wife says, yeah, okay, wife says good, yeah, I'm good with it.
Mm-hmm.
No, she was talking about something else. Yeah.
Sure.
Well, especially if she's talking about those people that are hanging out outside of your internet or something like that, or they got to get on it.
Anyway, this place that my son works for, right?
Yeah.
It's called the MBO Group.
That's a strip club?
Huh?
It's a strip club?
And they manufacture high-strength quenched and tempered steels in addition to special alloys and non-porous materials for automobile steering systems on request.
On request?
That's what the website says.
On request.
I extra went to the English version of the website so I can know what this stuff is in English. And at the moment, yeah.
But there's a 16-year-old that was doing a project in his basement, and he melted down lead and did something to it, and it came out as what he described as lead foam. And it was a very soft. It was made of lead, but very soft, like almost like a foam sponge. And at the time, nobody thought, well, you know, what are you going to use lead foam for? They're now using it for insulation, for heat insulation in for components in space.
Cool.
A 16-year-old came up with this.
Cool.
You know, so I'm not exactly sure how they do it, but when you look at it, it comes out. It looks like a bubbled up version of what would be, you know, like a foam sponge, you know, all the holes and everything, but it's made of lead. It's really neat, and apparently they use it now to insulate not just heat but against radiation because it's lead, and it's super light. I mean, you pick it up, it like really just floats down to the ground.
And also good to keep your hair in place. There, done.
Just don't lick it.
X9. Who are you?
Brianna.
Is that Brianna?
That was her yesterday.
Okay. Because we're supposed to have real names, right?
Well, at least identify who you are. Otherwise, we got to block the person off the room.
Exactly.
Well, who's
If I
John?
don't change my name.
Well, that way we know who it is. Because like the other time we had a troll on there, and it was kind of a pain in the butt.
Yeah, but Nelson, what's a John Brewer? I don't know that.
I don't know what a John Brewer is, and I think it's German.
German guys, huh?
Listening to your English, John, you're becoming more and more of a foreigner.
Yeah, I keep forgetting some of my own language here. So, the longer you live in a foreign country, the more that happens.
Yeah, the more it happens, yeah, that's it. Hello, Brianna.
Hi.
I've lived here for 30 years, so yeah.
So we're lucky we have a show today because the power went out here for 30 minutes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was like, okay, 1 o'clock, I'm going to go downstairs. I wash out my mug. I pour the water in the coffee maker. I go back to the sink. I'm washing it out, you know. And what was I doing? No, I was doing something else with the sink. The water was on, and I didn't hear the power go out. You know how power goes out, everything goes.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that. I turned the water off.
Really?
I turned the water off. I looked over at the stove. And Oh, great. Now there's no time on the stove. I look at the microwave, no time. Like, did the power go out? You know? So
Who
no,
is VB hosting exactly?
yeah,
I'm sorry.
it's that guy from Canada, that old guy with gray hair. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
so my neighbor calls me up, and he's all like, "Yeah, hi, do you got power?" And I answered, "Yeah, I got power." And he goes, "Oh, stupid Hydro! I'm gonna call him up." Hangs up on me, calls up Hydro, and he most likely got a message saying, "In the Rock Forest area, there is a power outage right now." So he calls me back and goes, "You stupid piece of..." And he goes, why did you tell me that you have power?" I said, "Well, I do have power. I have a battery backup power supply.
Ah.
My computer was on. I had power."
Yeah.
Sort of makes you wonder who doesn't pay his hydro bill.
Okay.
And that's getting bad now. These new boxes they put out, they used to actually have to come on site and then actually walk on your property and disconnect the physical fuses in the wall. In the box to cut your power, and then you hear the noise of this going on, right? So you go around, "Hey, oh, I'll write him a check, and can you reconnect it?" You know, I'm sorry. It's happened to me a few times. You know, hey, bills get tight. You know,
Yeah,
um,
sure.
I mean, back in the day, my power got cut off at my apartment, and I got fed up. I took a I don't anybody do this at home, because I found out later this is really dangerous. Took a butter knife that was already busted, and I stuck the butter knife in where the fuse goes. It's a long fuse, but this long. I shoved the blade of the butter knife in where the fuse goes and closed the thing and turned back on my power. Well, Hydro found out about that, or the electrical company found out about that, and they fined me $2,000 for tampering with their equipment. Because when they came back a month later to turn somebody else off, they were, "Well, how come there's a blade, a metal blade sitting in there?" So now the box got changed. So if they want to cut off your power, all they do is they type in a code on the computer and go boop. Code gets sent down. It receives its code. It goes, "Power's off."
Okay.
Now, yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, Germans took over our power plant.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
German.
It's like just leave the power on and work with the people. Tell them, give us $1 a day if you have it. It's still $30 a month. No, it's getting to be too expensive for power for a lot of people. It's some of these. My daughter's living in an apartment. It's hitting $80-$90 a month.
Yeah.
For
Do y'all have the opportunity or the ability there to set up solar panels in your house?
Well, I do, and I want to set up 3 wind turbines here at the end of my property here, because we do get a lot of wind from that direction, and so I want to set up 3 wind turbines, which would theoretically, I did the math, 3 wind turbines should power the entire house.
Okay.
That'd be cool. I would love to have wind turbines.
Yeah. But I was thinking to at least cut the cost. Maybe not power the fridge, the stove, a washer, dryer, but at least hook it up so all the electrical components, the computers, monitors, all that gets plugged in. Then I'll have extra power for whatever else. So if I don't have a full windy day, let's say I got half wind, I'm still powering my electronics.
Yeah.
No, but this is done through a relay. If there's not enough power coming in one side, it goes to battery pack first, and the batteries provide power to that circuit. If there's not enough power coming in, then the city hydro comes in and provides the power. It's automated.
What about the solar panel option?
Well, I've got the solar panel option, but I've got too many people that talk about it. When you install them on your roof, you got to think you have to anchor that somewhere.
Yeah.
And when you anchor something into a roof, you're making potential holes.
Yeah.
You see, so eventually you're going to have leaking. It's a lot of maintenance. It's a lot of maintenance up there.
I've heard you can put a solar array on the ground.
Yeah, but then you lose all that land.
Okay, I don't care on land.
Well, if it's on the ground, wherever it's on the ground, you can't walk on it. You lose that area. You can't throw balls. You can't throw. If you throw a ball for your dog and you hit that glass, and that glass shatters, it's busted.
You can't run away from your wife.
Yeah,
you're trapped.
That's it.
Go ahead.
That
would be in the backyard. We can play in the front yard, so that's.
Well, check with your municipality. I don't know. I'm not sure if cities allow you to put solar panels in your front yard because, yeah, and
I didn't know it would be in the backyard.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because in the front yard, you're also asking for trouble with kids going by and throwing stuff at it. It's made of glass. Yeah. It's fragile. So, but no, I've looked into it. But the wind turbines, I think, would be better. I mean, we don't have that much sunlight. Not like we used to. There's more.
Yeah, but it draws though. Even though you can't not see the sunlight and stuff, it still draws it. I have a brother in our congregation. He works with that stuff.
Oh yeah,
And,
I'd like to talk to him about that to see if it's worth doing or not.
yeah, he does it for business, and he says.
Yep.
But isn't there?
Whoa! I didn't know I had that much available.
Of what? Oh, okay. Let John speak. 'Cause every time you talk, you just cut him right out totally. Go ahead, John.
Wasn't that John Jr. with you?
Yeah.
Okay, John, what were you saying before?
Yeah, I was gonna ask, isn't there a method though that's used when you anchor that stuff so you seal whatever holes that you have to make?
Yeah, but whatever you put on eventually degrades, and it eventually leaks. Everybody I've talked to says that it's inevitable.
Okay. I have to ask brother about it. See what he says.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
I mean, my neighbor has it, and every couple of years he had to go up and put tar around those. He just got rid of the whole thing. He said, forget it, because it was always leaking.
Nelson, let John Jr. speak. He wanted to say something.
John Jr.? You mean Patrick?
Hi.
Hi. I understand you have a job now.
Yeah.
Cool.
Working every day, except for today.
Except for today, because he got kicked out. Okay.
So now you're paying your dad's bills, right?
He's paying his dad back.
Oh, he's paying him back. Oh, jeez. Okay, let's not stress out. It hasn't been 2 weeks yet. Give him another week.
He's paying you back for all those years as a kid, right, Pat?
All right.
So
no, he had the late shift, so he's off now. Or the night shift. The night shift.
the night shift, yeah.
John, it's called a dictionary. You should get one.
You see, I've got the German and the English all jumbled up, you know, and yeah.
Yeah, but there are fixes for that. They're called books.
I use them every day.
As a teacher, you should know that.
Yeah. Brain takes over and it accesses whatever data happens to be there, you know.
Yeah.
Sure.
I dozed off earlier, and I was I had YouTube playing on my TV, and I woke up to this. We're talking about metals, so I'm bringing this up. This guy on YouTube was talking about chemistry, and it was showing something to do with natural process of copper coating something without using electrolysis. You know, just putting two metals into a jar, special liquid, and when he pulled out the other metal, it was copper coated. And like I said, your son works with special metals, so that's how I brought this up. But it's funny how you wake up to something like that, and this guy was so high energy. Must have been in his 70s, but as a chemist and physicist, he was so high energy. Okay, we're going to do this now. I'm going to do this here. Okay, now we're going to do this. I had troubles following this guy. It was interesting to watch the stuff this guy was doing with chemicals and switching chemicals from one to another and making metals. Like it was like almost showing alchemy. But it was like you wake up, you're like, dude, you're in your 70s. What are you on? I gotta go get the video and show you guys. It looks like the classic, you know, white-haired old scientist, you know, in his lab, you know, and he's just going at it.
You're typical mad scientist.
Yeah, that's it. But I know about special metals and blending metal. Like, for example, metal coating. I know how to do electrolysis and where we can coat one metal to another with positive electrodes. You know, for example, copper and zinc onto steel or silver, stuff like that. I know how to do that. But it was funny how I woke up because I never knew you could just take a container, put a solvent in, put copper in, and steel. And over time, the copper will migrate over to the steel and make a coating on it. You know, it's not as fast, but when you pull the steel out, it's copper coated. And I never knew you could do that without electricity. You know?
Not bad.
And it was talking about the alchemy, because back in the day, the alchemists were the wizards and people who knew about all this magic stuff, and alchemy has to do with the belief that you can turn one element into another, transmutation. And so when they saw that a piece of iron turned to copper, they thought, oh, it turned into copper. Not that it was copper plated.
It was coated.
Yeah, that's it. But the stuff back in the day, if you discovered how to do alchemy, you were valuable, more than a king.
Yeah.
A lot. It was stupid. Back in the Dark Ages, a lot of the stuff that they thought was gold turns out today is brass.
Mm-hmm.
So it's and kings had like vaults of brass, and I have gold because my wizard made the gold, and my alchemist did it, and it really is just brass. And they didn't know any better.
Interesting.
Really. Talking about metals again, and what your son works on. You guys have been hearing about this challenge on YouTube where people are making these balls of aluminum foil?
No.
You haven't seen this?
No.
The Japanese will take aluminum foil and they'll bang out with a hammer. They'll make this ball of aluminum foil. It's an aluminum ball made of aluminum foil.
Okay.
So on the internet, people are trying to do it with gold colored aluminum foil, stuff like that. Well, this guy came out, and it's Cody's lab. He literally flattened out 14 karat bars of gold and made a gold ball made of gold. And he says, you want gold, here's what a gold ball will look like. And it's not aluminum foil. So that ball came out being about $12,000 of gold.
Wow.
So it's like, holy crap. There you go. That was just interesting.
And what is the reasoning behind these aluminum balls?
I'm not 100% sure, but I'm seeing everybody. I mean, I guess it's better than eating Tide Pods and stuff like that, I guess.
Yeah,
but
just for sure, yeah.
But now you got people going out and buying rolls and rolls and rolls and rolls of aluminum foil to make the biggest possible. You start out as small as you can, you pound it out, and you keep rolling it, you keep pounding until you get to as big as you can. They're getting to about baseball to about this size. One guy has one where the ball apparently is his size, but that got defunct. His buddy went on YouTube and showed them how they did it, and there's actually a framework inside made of wood, so they cheated that one. But the idea is to see who gets the biggest ball, who gets the nicest ball, the shiniest ball. That's from what I can see. But when the gold tin foil, aluminum foil came out, and it's brass colored. They thought, Cody from Cody's lab thought, well, hey, I'll make it out of real gold. And this guy's a chemist, and he had $12,000 in gold bullion, and those little pieces of gold. Yeah, not coins, but they're what do you call ingots, little tiny ingots. Anyways, he literally passed them through a flattener and made it into sheets. And then started rolling them up like tinfoil. Not to say he's got another 15 grand of gold that he's going to smelter next week's video. He's going to divide off the copper, brass, and gold. He's going to keep the gold and he's going to add it to that ball. So he's gonna have a $30,000 ball of gold.
People with money, I'm telling you.
Well, no. It's not that he has money.
Okay.
He back in the day, he would take apart the computer components, and he's showing people how to take all the stuff off the computer boards, the zinc, I can't think of the names of metals right now. Magnesium, the silver, the lead. Take all those components out, including mercury. There's a lot of mercury in our computers, and for thermometers. And you take all this stuff out and you divide it out. It shows you how you can melt it down and sort it, And then his original idea was to sell it off, but then he started getting into doing more chemistry stuff and how to do smeltering and how to do division, how to do molecular division. Like, for example, there's one episode he shows how to get pure uranium. And the thing is, everybody thinks that uranium is only the government has that. Uranium is all around us.
Okay.
You know, and you just need to know how to take it out of the environment.
Yeah.
But it literally is all around us. Now, the weapons grade uranium, that's a whole different story. Now you're taking out the one isotope out of the uranium and collecting it. That's a whole different story.
Okay.
But he wants to show people how to do this stuff in chemistry and stuff. So he's got a collection of it. Not that he's rich, but he's got a collection of the stuff that he's collected over the years from taking apart computers. Like,
where do you go?
I turned the video off because I'm eating.
I don't have anything here, but the computer boards, if you guys look at computer boards, the part that plugs into like an extra slot, those gold pins, they are made of gold. And if you can take that gold off and collect it, if you can take that gold off and collect it, don't do it if you need it though. If you need the part to work, leave the gold there. But if you can take that gold off, you know, there's mercury, there's platinum, which is expensive. There's a lot of money. There's a lot of platinum in computer parts. A lot of these square chips. If you can split the chip apart, it's not just silicone in there. There's metals in there. You know, and that all breaks down, and you can divide it all up, and you can sell it.
Yeah, I saw on the news one time they interviewed this guy. I think he's in New York, and that's what he did for a living. He went around picking up stuff off the ground, right? You know, these little metal gold pieces or whatever, because you know people lose this and lose that and blah blah blah, and he ended up getting a lot of gold out of it and stuff like that.
This cell phone sells for, at the time it sold for $1,000. Now it's about maybe $200 now. But the fact of the matter is, if you were to take this apart and break it down to its constituent parts, gold, silver, lead, platinum, mercury because of the sensors, the carbon, lithium because of lithium-ion battery, all those parts, and broke it down, you got $50 of material sitting there. Now, $50 if you just go in and say here to the bank, here I got a pound of gold, give me the money. Yeah. That's one thing, but there's people that will buy that material off of you at a higher price than if you just went to try to sell it.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. You see, because other people want that gold or that silver or that platinum for their projects, you know. So if you're in talking to the right people, you can make a lot of money off of recycling these components down to almost nothing, you know.
That's interesting.
It is.
And you know, we were talking about this aluminum challenge thing, right?
Yep.
It's amazing the time people spend doing stuff like that.
The time that people have to waste.
Yeah, but when you talk about like internet marketing and you know, starting your website and there's no time for that.
Yeah, exactly.
You want to make money online, right?
Yeah.
They don't have time for that, or don't want to invest in it, right?
Right.
But some of these same people may have time for something like that, or like what we talked about before. Like when you calculated all the money you spent on the coffee that you and your wife used to buy when you were out and about, you know. And I mean, when you think about the money that you spend on stuff all the time, you know, and if people would just like take a little bit of that and invest into their marketing business
into their future.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Because the guy that you're buying that coffee from and those donuts from and sandwiches at the restaurant from, he doesn't care. You're investing into his future. He's doing exactly what you should be doing.
Exactly.
That's it. You know, I had one person. I got an ebook on how to do affiliate marketing, the one I'm writing up right now. And I told the person goes, "Well, can I get a free copy of it?" I said, "I don't see why you should have a free copy." I said, "You're not going to do anything with it." Because the same person, I know I was brutal with them. I said the same person, I'd given them 10 different chances at making 10 different websites to just make some business. And they get the domain name, they get it set up, and then they don't put nothing on it. They don't do anything. They don't follow through, you know. And I don't know how far I have to go as a I hate to use the word coach, but how far do you hold a person's hand? You know, wake up, okay,
Yeah.
now click that link, now get that code, plug that there. You know.
That's it. That's it. It's different if someone is like a real newbie, a real greenhorn, and doesn't know anything, and they need you to take them by the hand in the beginning, but they get to a point where they take off on their own, and they come back to you when they're stuck. But you have these people, it's like you say, you've been helping them like for months or maybe even years,
And they don't do anything.
and it's still the same thing.
Yeah.
Oh, what do I do now? What do I do now?
That's it.
What do I do now? You know.
That's it. That's it. Because I got the affiliate marketing ebook that I'm writing up right now, and how to do affiliate marketing, how I do it. And
Right.
I mean, it's not hard to do. I mean, you go get affiliate links from these other sites, products and services that you trust, and then you write an ebook. And myself, I write ebooks, and in the ebooks, I talk about that product or service. Let's say it's a website about hosting. So I'll go
Right.
get all the affiliate links that I can for all the different hosting providers that I can.
Right.
And then I'll talk about each hosting service and why each one's different. And it might only come out to 10 pages. It doesn't have to be a 200-page book, 5, 10 pages. An ebook that tells people, go here if you want this kind of hosting. Go here if you want that kind of
Right.
hosting. What's cloud hosting? You know, what's a VPN? You know, so we'll talk about these different things. And then if they're
Right.
interested, they click the link and it goes to that affiliate page.
Right.
You know, and then I get a commission if that person buys that service. I get a commission
Right.
off that sale. Now, let's say, for example, you want to go after websites like Mardocs.
Right.
You don't advertise hosting. You advertise resource centers or community websites, and then
Right.
Mardocs becomes one of the sites that you're promoting. That your affiliate link is in there. You see,
Exactly. Exactly.
or if you want to make Mardocs your centerfold. Or your main focus, you can write any ebook, but then tell people on the front page, if you want to follow me, I'm at Mardocs. Here's my
Right.
link to join. You know,
Exactly.
so you can do it that way.
Exactly.
It's
How does
go ahead.
how does one make a rebrandable ebook? Because you can buy ebooks, right? Or you can download ebooks. Like you might get one for free.
Yeah.
But if you want to rebrand it, then you have to pay a certain amount, and then you're able to, go in and rebrand it.
Yeah, what I
Or
would
you
what I would
be
do.
able to go onto the site and rebrand it.
Yeah, what I would do there is two-part. Person would have to pay to have a rebrandable one, and not a cheap price. You know,
Yeah.
99 and up. You know, because you're giving them what you have in your pocket now, unless the links that they're going to put in that they're going to put their codes in for is all part of MLMs. So that
Yeah,
so that when they sign up, they're signing up underneath you. Then you could bring the price down. But if you're not making anything off of them, put the price up for rebrand. Okay. Now,
Yeah, sure.
now the second part would be you would have to have a website set up, so they would have to go sign up to all these programs, come back to your website and plug in all their codes. When all the codes are plugged in, then they would have a button to say generate PDF.
Okay.
Okay. Then it creates the PDF with all their codes where the codes belong, and then spits out a .pdf file for them to distribute.
Do you have to have a particular type of program for that? Like if
Well,
you
I
have-
would I would make my own to do it for myself,
Yeah,
but there must be
you.
software out there. But personally, me, I would not go to rebranding my ebooks. I'm kind of against that because, again, if I'm talking to telling people how to use domain hosting, and I got all my links to my hosting, there's no MLMs involved in this stuff. I'm going to rebrand the ebook for you. You're going to make 100% profit off all those sales, and I'm not. Now you became 100% my competition. With that brand, you see. So that kind of only works if they're only signing up to MLM programs, you know. And that's if they sign up underneath you, because what's to say they don't go to the main website and sign up to all these programs and sign up underneath you. So it gets kind of touchy with that. A lot of people rebrand their books because they're tired of selling it. You're already at the 75 point of saying that this is a valuable environment. Then they basically turn around and say, okay, I'm done with this, but I'll sell the book, or I'll sell the rebrand rights for $100 a shot. Kind of like a last ditch effort to make a couple $1,000s. But you're going on to another project. But that's not fair because now the people paying the $100 to get the rights to your ebook are now, they think they're getting started, not realizing that one, you're selling this to multiple people. Okay, so now they've got lots of competition all around with the same thing being sold, and two, you didn't tell them that you're already at the end of your interested market. You see, so they're picking up where you're done. You see, so I don't like.
Okay.
So
Interesting perspective.
if you're gonna rebrand, the best thing to do is write your own stuff. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. I think everybody can sit down and write something they know about.
Yeah.
You know. And then at least then you don't have people buying your ebook and say, dude, I already have 10 copies of this. I want my money back. You know, at least it's original. It's original. PLR content, private label, right? Be careful with that too, because again, people have PLR content and it's everywhere on hundreds of sites because they're using it as their private label rights. They're putting their own logos and stuff and their name on it. So be careful with that. It's easy content, but it's already being used everywhere.
Yeah. Because I'm starting to go through the ebooks. Well, I started, but I had to stop because, other things I had to do.
Yeah.
But I'm going to get back to it. I started with the titles that I was interested in. But I noticed there were a few from the same person, and I didn't like the way in which it was written because the person could have done a better job. It's almost like it's a copy paste type thing or something.
Oh yeah. Don't you love it where the paragraphs were just shifted around?
Yeah, so yeah, that's why,
Copy and paste.
I mean, you should try to put out quality stuff. Even if you take a PLR and use the information from it, make it your own.
Well, that's why I tell people, if you're going to use PLR, read it, go through it, but make it your own. Change it up a lot.
Yeah, because you have to put your own personality into it and write things in the way that you would say them.
That's it.
So on and so forth,
That's it.
Even when I promote other products, right? You join these websites, and they give you these email swipes that they write, and so on and so forth. I make sure I read through it.
And or rewrite it, because otherwise you're setting up the same thing.
Right. I read through it and I rewrite it to how I would write it and I would say it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you have to take out some of the overhyped stuff. A little hype is okay because you try to motivate people, but let's not get ridiculous,
Yeah. Telling them that there's a Lamborghini involved and like this guy here that comes out and says, give me 42.5 seconds and I'm going to give you a $97 and a laptop, and all you have to do is follow my webinar. What? No, you're not giving them a laptop and $97 if they watch you for 42.5 seconds. That's exactly what he says. Give me 42.5 seconds, and I will give you $97 and a free laptop. That phrase alone means that if I watch you for 42.5 seconds, I'm getting those things. What he means is go to the webinar, watch it, and then sign up to his program, and there's a free laptop in it for you. At $1,600 a month, it's not a free laptop. It's more like you bought your laptop. Here you go.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it is. Or he's running a contest or something, But that's the one. That's what I was saying the other day. It's $4,000 or something like that, one-time payment, and who has that kind of money, but regardless, even if you write an ebook, or if you get an ebook from somebody, make sure you go through it and at least use it. Don't buy the ebook just for the sake of buying an ebook and say, okay, now I have it. Make sure you at least do something with it, or add it to your knowledge or something.
Yeah, exactly. Get it for the information so that you can use the information to help advance your business.
Yeah.
I need to see if my other dog is at the door.
Go ahead.
You think what?
Yeah, her dog.
Okay. Oh.
And but what was I gonna say? I lost track. What I was gonna say now. Dang it.
Isn't it amazing how quickly that happens?
Yeah, that's it. There's too many people that buy stuff, and it's like here. I'll give you guys an example. Look at this. Another hard drive came in. 1 terabyte. It has 800 gigs of stuff on it. Another person sent it in to add it to our pile, and I ran the analysis on it, and I would say it's estimated about 60% of it's already in our system. And I made software to look at files and analyze, with fingerprints to see what kind of is the same, and then we can go back over and look and are they the same. But 60% of it is basically duplicate, so they got it from the same places. So 40% is probably good stuff, new stuff, or it's been slightly modified.
Right.
So it's kind of different. So it's going to take time to go through it. But why do these? I'm reselling all this on hard drive. If somebody wants all the content, I can sell them the entire hard drive.
Right.
That's my goal with Content Galore. But why do people collect almost a terabyte of ebooks? And this guy goes, I have no idea what's even on it. Because he just started downloading. It's like, put it on a drive. It says,
What do you do with all of that information all at one time?
it's just to collect it.
Yeah.
It's insane. I got some now at Mardox. A lot of the content that what I'm doing is this: a Content Galore. It's a hefty price to get in there. It's a one-time fee. It's $495. You get lifetime access to that website, and you've got access to all the content that we have. At Mardox, I take a lot of the content that we're getting, and I'm putting it into Mardox. I'm integrating it in there. It's not for sale, but it's for use. You see?
Yeah.
On those pages with those videos, I'm going to tell people if you want to get the actual version of the software, it's available over here at Content Galore. You see?
Yeah.
Click, and if they want to get access to the resale version of this, they can buy the license to the site, and they get access to everything. I think there's 16,000 titles now over there, and soon to be released. But 16,000 titles that could be downloaded, and you can download and you get the master resale rights, the PLR rights, and all that kind of stuff. You can follow the licenses of each product, but you can do what you want, within respect. And a lot of people are interested in that $495 package. Hey, they pay it one time, it's theirs. They got full access to it.
Yeah.
As opposed to this monthly stuff.
Yeah, if they're going to really do something with it and they're willing to invest their money, why not?
That's it. And the database is searchable. You don't have to download everything. The database is searchable.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah.
That's it. So you can search for just what you want and then find what you want and then say, okay, I'm going to download these things. Because let's face it, why download everything if you're not involved in gardening? Why are you going to download anything about gardening?
Exactly.
Because it's not all marketing; it has everything in it.
Yeah.
But what I would love to see at Mardox is more of our users writing their own ebooks, even if it's not just selling links, but writing something about what they know, so that we put the ebooks up. And in the ebook section of Mardox, those ebooks will show up first relative to everything else.
Yeah.
You see. So I would love to see Mardox members start getting involved in writing their own ebooks.
Yeah, I'm trying to I'm focusing again, and I've been getting my sites together, my marketing and my English training site, and I've got a lot of titles and subjects in my head that I want to write ebooks about.
Myself, what I did is I wrote down titles on a sheet of paper and an idea, and then it's on the paper, and then I take one and I focus just on that one.
Yeah.
Because if it's in your head, you can't manage it all.
Mm-hmm.
And then I focus just on one ebook. It might take me a month, might take me 2 months to write that ebook, but when I release that ebook, because John knows when I get ebooks, and I go, okay, John, I think it's done. Go read it. And John's like, oh my God, 90 pages long. Are you kidding? Do I look like I have time for this? But John usually says my stuff is good.
Yeah. Yes. Very.
But I do take the time. I write it, and then I go back. I start over and I reread it, and I go, a couple weeks later, I'll reread it, and I do it on purpose to forget what I wrote.
Yeah.
And then I reread it as if I'm a user, and then that doesn't make sense. Reword that, that makes a big difference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, more people can do that than they really realize, because we all have a certain degree of knowledge and skill or interest that we know about and that we're passionate about, and why not write about it?
That's it. That's it. And you can put in links to Amazon if you want to comment or refer to content on Amazon. You can do reviews and say, okay, guys, an ebook with the 10 best 10 best hard drives on the market, and write about hard drives, explain what hard drives are, how they work, and then the 10 best, and then put links to the Amazon site. Now, here's the trick, though. If you have an Amazon account, you can't link from your ebook because you have to specify where the traffic comes from. You have to give a domain name. So what you're going to do is you're going to put a website address to your domain name that's allowed to Amazon, and that page is going to talk about that product. And then you do an auto redirect over to Amazon from there. So you can promote the page or promote the ebook. Person clicks the link, goes to your page. They click the link to continue to Amazon.
Yeah.
You see. So you can do Amazon sales through an ebook too, which is a big deal. A lot of people, if you're telling them that hard drives are great and they're saying this is the number one I like the best, but this one is second best, and this is why, a lot of people will take that at face value and say, okay, great, I'll follow your instructions and buy your stuff. You know, when I buy equipment on the internet like this tripod, I keep referring back to it because it actually is a really good tripod. It only cost me $100 to get this, and it's a high end one. You know, could also be used as a selfie stick because the center bar here is what really got my attention. This middle bar can come right out. I can use it as a selfie stick if I want to.
Okay.
And when I did. Before the purchasing, I happened to land on an ebook that talked about camera equipment, accessories, and the guy said, of all the tripods that are out there, this is the one that he would refer to as someone who's getting started. And I went and bought it right away because I trusted what this guy said.
Yeah, that's right. Because even though there's a lot of information out there, right, about the same stuff, but when sometimes people, when they hear it from you, and they know, like, and trust you, then they will take your recommendation.
Right.
And it's about people don't realize the value in that kind of thing.
That's right. That's right. The idea of getting people to follow you, like I have a membership site, and I do want to write an ebook on how I make money running my membership site. I do want to do that because a lot of members are like, well, how do you make money doing this? And one person was asking, how do I make money doing it, even though I'm sending out T-shirts and mugs and all that, And in that ebook, I'm going to explain why we send out the mugs and T-shirts free of charge. Because we said it in your show the other day, and I guess on show I showed it was $20 to ship something to somebody. Yeah. I think it was my dad's cup. I think I showed on screen, and that got picked up. Someone goes, "How can you afford to send a $20 mug to somebody, including shipping and all that?" And Josh was there because he said, "Oh, I can get mugs for really cheap." It was $10.88 for the mug. It was $10.88 for the mug, but I'll get your custom name on it, so that's why I'm paying more. But I'm paying $10 in shipping. Yeah. But how can I do that? So that's why I want to make an ebook on why and how we do that, because a lot of members are like, "This doesn't make sense. How can you afford to do that?" Yeah. And in reality, it's kind of like, yes, I can afford it, but no, I can't. It's yes, I can because it makes members stay a lot longer. Yeah. So it's a long-term vision.
Yeah, it's an investment.
Yeah.
It's an investment.
That's it. So $20 now versus a person paying for 10 months is $249. So if a person pays for an entire year, I can sacrifice a mug or a T-shirt or both. Like for James, we sent him both, which, by the way, he should be getting. It says delivered. But I don't think he's. I think he's in the operation stuff now. I'm not sure. I never got a date from him yet. But I got a nice big paragraph as to what he described. What my dad went for was one thing. What he's getting is being done up through the groin. So that's how they're accessing. He goes, that's going to be the most painful thing in the world for what he's getting. I guess we should make it public and see. I'll have to check with James and see if we can make that public, and maybe show it on screen tomorrow or Mondays, and let people read what he had to say. Yeah. I always want to get permission first. And it says it was an email to me, so it wasn't. There was nothing said to distribute it, but but take James. Send him a mug. We said we're going to send a mug. Took too long. Send him a mug and a T-shirt. he's gonna
Yeah.
be he's gonna be happy. You know, he's gonna be there
I
for.
mean, it's like when I look at I see my cup every day, right? And I look at this and I'm like, you know, this is my Marduk's cup.
There
And
you
I
go.
got this from Marduk. It's like it's value, you know.
Yep.
And you know, years on down the road, you know, if you still have your cup, you still look at that and you know, it's more it's value. It's different than when you go to the store and you buy something because you like the way it looks. You see what I'm saying?
I'm gonna show you guys one of my very first companies that I did in this field. Okay, and I know people who still have these. Now I got involved with the company, and I was their consultant in marketing, and I had to go get some ebooks, and I had to really crack down and say, okay, how are we gonna show this? But the company name, I don't know if you can see this, but the company name was called BuySafe.com.
Okay, yeah, I
Okay,
see that.
and it was a group of you. Do you remember them?
Yeah.
It's way back, 1990, 91, 92. And
Yeah.
I came up to him, I said, guys, real simple. Make a round mouse pad and
Yeah.
put your name on it and click on this. This was the mouse pad that I came up with as an idea. And I still have mine. And I know
Yeah.
people who got theirs because if you sold the products to other people through them, you got a mouse pad or something. And I still
Yeah.
have it. The site's not there anymore. The site's gone, long time gone. But the mouse pad is still. This is 90s, over 20 years old, 30 years old
Yeah.
almost. You know,
Yeah.
so gives you an idea. You know, this if you make your product, and that's another thing too. Josh was saying that he can get mugs for like $7 or $5. Don't go cheap on the manufacturing of your product. If
Yeah.
you're gonna make something, like for one, these mugs are custom made because like show the screen, John. Show
Yeah.
yours on screen, John. Because John has John Brewer in his. Mine says Nelson Buck. Dad's is coming. So is Brianna. You gotta get one to Brianna. Brianna's been doing good. She's been trying to stay in with us all this time. But don't skimp on the quality. Make sure you got good quality product made, even if it costs a little more. Because what is it going to do? You're going to send a mug to somebody, and it's going to be chipped and busted before end of a month. They're going to be like, oh, screw it. These mouse pads at the time cost $20 to make each.
Yeah.
You know, but if the person was making $100 sales a week, this was worth it. You know, T-shirts, same thing. And the T-shirts I send out. The guys' T-shirts are regular cotton. The women's T-shirts are the ultra soft.
Okay.
Do you really want to put a rough T-shirt on a woman's body? If you got a female member, give them a softer T-shirt, and they'll value that a lot more. Women like soft things, and it costs more, but they're going to stick around longer.
Yeah.
You
I
see?
mean, think about these real big companies that have money to spare, like
They're not even-
Samsung, these guys.
They're not even doing it.
Yeah, no, but I mean, it's like, you know, I think Samsung was the one where those phones started catching fire when they were being charged.
Yeah, what was the batteries? Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like, and why was that? Because they skimped on the battery manufacturer, I guess. You know.
Well, that one's a little bit more complicated. They didn't skimp. They tried to push the limits of the battery. They were overcharging.
Okay.
And okay, how it is? There's two layers inside. You got the anode, and the cathode. It's divided by a carbon fiber separator, and then you'll have an electrolyte inside, and the electrons pass from one side to the other. But if you overcharge the capacity of that battery, the electrons will jump over without needing to be connected, and that's where you get the heat going, and then you get a runaway reaction from this. And then you got your explosion. It happens in milliseconds. So what they did is they went back to the lower charge batteries. Instead of doing 3,000 milliamp hour, they went back to 2,500 milliamp hour.
Okay.
You see? So they tried to push the limits, and they got burned. Literally burned.
Yeah,
there is a limit to how much you can do with this stuff. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't really skimping. It would have been better if they made the batteries bigger, thicker, literally thicker. You could put more charge in it without having that risk. But where they skimped was they tried to keep it thin, because otherwise your phone is going to be twice as thick.
Yeah.
So is it Samsung's fault or is it our fault? Hey, I want my phone thin.
Yeah.
What does it matter if it's a little thicker? Who cares?
Yeah.
It's a bigger
Yeah.
phone. Huh?
I like thicker phones because they're harder to lose.
They're harder to lose and they don't break as fast. So maybe they should start giving us thicker batteries, bigger batteries. If you want more time, bigger battery.
Yeah, they should give people choice at least, because.
Yeah. I mean, these phones now are literally thin. There's a reason why the batteries are soldered in because they can't afford to put a plug in. It would take up too much space.
Yeah.
So it's soldered onto the board. It's ridiculous. How thin are we going to go? There's a limit, But they didn't skimp. They pushed the limit too far. And yeah, they did skimp because they could have pushed it and kept the quality. But that's a complicated topic,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but you do have these companies though, manufacturers, and these manufacturers and things that they do that very thing. They try to skimp.
Well, let's take Apple, and I'm not ashamed to say Apple.com because Apple.com is screwing people over left, right, and center.
Okay.
First was the fingerprint scanner at the bottom. If you changed it and put another device in other than theirs, it would no longer work. Your phone would lock. It would become a brick. It's called being bricked. You can't access it ever. So they came back and said, we're sorry. Then the new version came out, and the button was the fingerprint scanner was to secure your data.
Yeah,
that's fine. I get that. But why the screen? If you take a screen out and you put another screen in, suddenly your phone's bricked. It's scrambled. It's no more good. Oh, that's just to protect your data too. What does a screen do for your data other than you can see it? Worse is Rossmann Group. What's his name? Rossmann, the one in New York that does repair. He took out a screen out of two Apple iPhones, bought from the same place at Apple.com, put them down, and took one screen out of A and put it onto B, and held B's screen. Turned on phone B, didn't work. It was bricked. Put the screens back. Phone B's screen went back onto phone B, bricked.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Apple is under fire right now with this. They've got to lighten up. They've got to start letting people repair their own stuff because we're allowed to get into our own stuff and fix our own stuff. But Apple's doing this to do what? To keep people out of their technology? You know? It's making them a bad name. If they keep this up, iPhone 10 or X, what do you want to call it? It's going to be the last iPhone they put out because of this. Yeah. But other companies that have low quality, what were the actually there's not very many companies with low quality lately. Laptops are getting better and better in terms of quality. PCs, we're hearing a lot about the graphic processing units, the GPUs, because the Bitcoin miners are they're gobbling up all that resource. Memory is getting a lot better. Memory chips and hard drives are lasting a lot longer than it used to. Screen quality, I haven't had a device that lost a screen in ages.
Yeah.
Computer-wise, I think companies have realized that you have to put out a quality product.
Yeah.
To get them to come back.
This is true.
Except for Apple. $3,000 laptop, and I could do the same thing with a laptop from a PC and have it way better.
Yeah, I guess they think they're special.
Yeah, well, it's the status when you put your laptop down. It says that you got the Apples on you.
Good.
It used to be status. Now you're like chump. Yeah, I'll get Apple sending me a cease and desist here tomorrow. I'll have a letter that says, "Please remove your video. You talk bad about us." Or they're going to put up a DMCA claim on YouTube and say, "Have that video taken down. They talk bad about us." Well, it's all the truth. It's all the truth.
Yeah.
Rossmann Group.
Well, it's not just you, Nelson. It's on the news anyway.
Yeah. Well, Rossmann Group, they received a letter from Apple for one of his videos. They said, "Please take down your video." He replied back with, "I'll take down my video if you file a DMCA claim at YouTube." And they came back, well, why? well, if I do it privately, nobody knows why I got taken down. At DMCA, it's going to be public, and people are going to know that you want that taken down. And then they never came back about it. The video's still up. So yeah, so they want to hush, take this, sit down.
Yeah.
But if you're telling the truth, they can't go against you.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
If you're talking, if you're speaking truth,
John Brewer's a complete scam. It's complete truth, right? No. Just slander one of my best members. Sorry, John. I had to take.
The only thing about truth is only as good as the person listening.
Well, there's that too, and the person speaking. Yeah, there's that too.
Talk to all the inmates. I'm innocent.
Oh, there's a lot of inmates that are innocent. They're in there for no good reason. They're starting to realize with DNA, they're starting to realize a lot of stuff that's gone crooked.
Well, they've cleared one up. This guy's been in jail for 48 years.
Yeah.
Okay, that's when I was a baby. And they reopened the case for some reason, did a DNA, and he had nothing to do with it. It was his uncle.
Yeah.
Okay.
48 years in jail for nothing.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Lost his life. Lost his life. It'd be like me. I'm what, 40? 43. It'd be like 5 more years of my life to go to say that I add up to that. So what do you do when you get out after 48 years?
Yeah, but even if they give you a settlement, $2 or $3 million, big deal.
Who cares? It's not going to do anything. You've lost
all the years of your life gone.
Another inmate was in there for a long period, let's say 40 years, and okay, you've been paroled, you can leave, you may go out in society. He says, no, I want to stay here.
Yeah.
He was scared to go out.
Yeah. Because it's a totally different world out there than it used to be.
Yeah, you gotta get a job. You gotta get a job and pay your way.
Yeah, we got Germany's online now. Geez.
But the truth is out there, people. The truth is out there. Just write an ebook and hope someone uses it. Oh, jeez. What's your next ebook that you're doing, John? The one that you want to. Huh? What's the ebook that you want to put out? Your next one.
I'm not sure because.
Without saying titles, don't give people ideas. I was write it before you.
Yeah, I just had a conversation with someone today and yesterday on Skype just a little bit, and just quit Skyping back and forth because I Skyped him because I liked something that he wrote about, and we got to talking a little bit, and he gave me some ideas as the conversation went on with what we were talking about, and he gave me a couple of ideas of something. I can't really say it because it was like you said,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll tell you in private, but I can't.
Oh no, but I'll write about it after. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the other thing too about ebooks. You got to be careful because you are putting information out there. If you write something, give away secrets. You got to evaluate your own context. If you give away something that could potentially hurt you, like back in the day, I wrote an ebook about search engines. And I got a lot of people, man. I had letters being sent to me, almost death threats, about how, take our service and guaranteed you have 500 hits overnight. Well, these companies at the time, 1999, 2000, they would not tell you that there's 500 or so search engines out there that would harvest your page overnight and, analyze it. That counted as all hits. But they wouldn't tell people this. I wrote an ebook about it and say, hey, this is what's really going on, people. And I was told to take that book down. It was fraud. It was lying to the people. And it's like, no, it's not lying. It's 100% truth. Yeah. I developed a search engine. I had a website. I'm a programmer. And I knew exactly what this was. And the ebook is still floating out there somewhere. But shortly after that, about a year later, all that domain submission services all disappeared.
That's interesting.
They all like fluttered away. It's like, okay, they all caught on that, hey, you don't have to tell people about this, and you can make a sale off this. And of course, the next day they go, hey, I got 500 hits, so I can't get my money back. I got what they said they're going to give me, but not realizing it's all programmed. And when the person would call in and say, hey, I got 500 hits, I bought the service from you 10 times, it makes 5,000 hits to my site, but I got no sales. First thing out of the salesperson's mouth, yeah, but that has to do with your product, your service. That's not our business.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, when I put that in an ebook, I had a lot of people mad at me. You
That's
know,
interesting.
yeah, you know, so you got to be careful. One, you can get death threats too. Do you really want to give away the secrets? In my case, yes, because I thought it was an injustice. But if you give away a secret to how you're making money, thousands of people are going to duplicate what you're doing, and you may not get anything for it other than the sale of the ebook.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's that too.
That's true. That's true. But
Now John's like, why am I going to write anything then?
but when you do things like that, when you offer things that that has value, right? This is also, again, branding yourself and stuff like that. And whenever you put something else out there, totally unrelated, people will take a look at it, and if they like whatever it is, they're willing to purchase it from you because what you have put out before has given value.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. You got to gain the public's trust, and I think that's more than ever now than it was in the past 20 years. People are starting to look and say, what really am I putting my money into?
Yeah. And this is why this building your list thing is so important.
Yeah.
Because you have to develop your brand and your reputation and so on and so forth, and because what's to stop a person, from getting the same product from someone else if it's like an affiliate product?
Yeah.
What's to stop them from getting it from somewhere else?
Yeah.
Well, what stops them, or what encourages them? Let's say they see an affiliate product, right? They say, "Oh, that looks pretty interesting," right? And let's say the person advertising this product on a traffic exchange or on a safe list. Let's say their profile picture is a blog, like thing.
Yeah.
And people like me, I say, well, why should I buy this product? Or even if it's a free thing, why should I get this from a blog? You see, and then, or you may see the person's picture or logo, and you say, okay, that's cool. But then you wonder, there's another affiliate marketer that who's into that kind of thing. Yep. And you go to see if they are offering it. Why? Because like and trust them. You see.
That's it.
That happens also.
Yep.
But I think you go a lot further if people don't know you. If you have a picture or you have a logo at least, instead of just a blank blog.
One of the problems I had when we've had Mardocs set up as an MLM back in the time, where so-and-so would sign up under so-and-so, then I get this person say, hey, that's my friend. They were supposed to sign up underneath me. I had so many problems with that, and I had to keep saying, no, it's whoever they signed up under, that's who they sign up under, Yeah. And I had people upset because so-and-so had, they were supposed to have that affiliate. Well, maybe that person wasn't your friend as much as you think it was,
That happened. I won't say any names. When we're off the air, I'll tell you. But that happened with me with one of my Mardocs referrals.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And what happened?
Because the person, they joined Mardocs under me because I approached them about it and so on and so forth. And this person knew another Mardocs member.
Right.
And me and this other Mardocs member knew each other as well. And then this person that joined under me, because this person, we all knew each other, right?
Yeah.
In networking and everything. And so this person mentioned it to the other person, or we were just talking about it, and this person mentioned that they joined under me, and then the other person
got upset.
Well, they didn't get totally, but it was
if it's the one I remember, that's the one at that point I had to say, no, wait, enough is enough. It's whoever signs up under whoever. Yeah, I think I know who you're talking about. And
because it's like, hey, I'm sorry, I just happened to talk to the guy, and whatever. Yeah, you know. I'm sorry if you know him longer, or if you think you're better friends and all of this. I don't really care. I was just doing my networking like I do,
That's it.
and talking about products that I like I do, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
You know.
MLM is a good. MLM products are a good way to find out who your friends really are and who aren't.
Yeah, it can be a dirty business sometimes.
You can only sign up under one person. Who do I sign up
Yeah.
under? You know, and it's like, well, if I don't sign up under them, they're going to be mad at me. If I don't sign up under this one's going to be mad at me. You know.
Crazy.
And I guess
Well, open two accounts.
yeah, that's it. You guys sign up under both, yeah. And of course, you open two accounts and you get banned and kicked out.
Exactly.
Yeah, no,
That's crazy.
I know. I got rid of the whole MLM thing, well, because of the PayPal thing, and a lot of. I was relieved. Oh boy, we can get rid of all that. You know, PayPal was almost an excuse to say get rid of MLM,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's a pain in the butt. Our members make less cash, but there's less problems as to who gets what commission.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it,
That's because I think when it comes down to it, right, it doesn't matter how much profit you get off of referring a product or service. If you really value and like the product or service, it doesn't matter.
So-
You'll stick with the product or service.
that's it.
Period.
That's it.
You know.
That's it. Are we at the hour yet?
Yes,
Yeah.
we're 6 minutes over.
Really?
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
well, do your thing, 'cause I got better things to do than sit here and talk to you guys.
And
I
thank you.
gotta put the dog out. He's an innocent. You know, he doesn't know better.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, once again for joining the Marduk's Daily Live chat. Coming to you weekdays, Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 12 Pacific and 9 p.m. Berlin time here in Germany, where I am. And if you are if you are following us via or watching us via YouTube, please remember to do three very important things: subscribe, like, and comment on the video channel. And if you are watching us via Twitch, please remember to do two things for us and to follow us and subscribe if you so choose to. But if you subscribe, that involves money. And yes, thanks again for tuning in. And hey, we would like to hear your comments and stuff.
Yeah, but it's not much money. Come on. So 3 o'clock tomorrow, right, John?
Monday through Friday.
Oh, today's Friday.
Yeah. Don't
Okay.
try to confuse me now.
Ute doesn't want Saturday and Sunday, right, John?
Huh?
Oh, jeez. Okay, so you guys say bye. I'm gonna try to find the button here,
Bye.
Have a good one.
because now I gotta try to find two buttons.
Bye.